I want to thank all of you for joining us here today. This is a session for a chance for everybody to learn about Point Park's graduate programs in our School of Communication. I am Lynn Rebar. I'm the Director of Graduate Admission, and I want to thank all of the prospective students who've joined us here today, as well as our staff and faculty. And hopefully together we can share some information and get some questions answered so that you'll feel you know everything you need to know about the programs. I have been with Point Park since 2003. We're happy to host open house events on campus, and this year we've been doing them virtually as well. And I do hope that everybody who's joined us here today will feel free to ask questions. I will be keeping an eye on the chat and the Q&A areas as well, so we can make sure that we're addressing any questions you have. I'm really just the warm-up act, just here to welcome everybody. In a moment, I will turn the program over to our main event people, which would be Tom Higgins, my colleague in the Graduate Admissions Office. Tom is our expert on the School of Communications programs. So he'll kind of be going through a little presentation here and focusing on Point Park in general, as well as admissions process. And then we also are happy to be joined by Dr. Steve Halleck from the School of Communications. He is our graduate program director who oversees all of our communications programs, and we're really excited to have him here. If you do join the program, he'll be a big part of your life here as a graduate student, assisting you and advising you in all ways throughout the program. So once again, thanks to everybody for joining. We appreciate the fact that you're considering Point Park. We know you have a lot of options for graduate school, and we're really happy that you've taken the time to join us here today. So I will go ahead now and turn the program over to Tom, and he's got a PowerPoint that he and Dr. Halleck will run through to share information about the programs. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Lynn. So as Lynn mentioned, my name's Tom. I'm an admissions counselor, and I work with the communications programs. So if you decide to apply to the program and you get accepted, I'll be helping you with that whole process all the way through to registering for your first semester of classes. So if you ever have any questions about the application process or just any general questions at all, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I know that we have, the School of Communication has several different graduate programs, and we have some people here who said they're interested in several different ones. So we're going to be giving kind of some generalized information about each one. But if you have a specific question about your program, please feel free to ask in the chat or whatever way you feel is best, and we'll be glad to answer that for you today. So just kind of like an overview of some of the things about grad school at Point Park. Some of the positive things about it are that we have small class sizes. I know in the School of Communications, I think our average class sizes are, between 10 and 15. So it's not like we have these big classes. You get a good chance for some one-on-one time with your professors. We have a lot of industry experienced faculty who are really dedicated to your success. Most of our faculty I know have a lot of experience in the fields that they're teaching about, which is something that we really value at Point Park. We have a downtown Pittsburgh location, which is pretty convenient for a lot of people, especially people who may work downtown. Our class schedule for our graduate programs is it's designed with working people in mind. Most of the classes will be in the evenings, so that people who kind of work full-time during the day will be able to manage it. And I would say that most of our students probably are working full-time or working in some capacity. So we keep that in mind as well. I do also want to mention that graduate assistantships are a good opportunity at Point Park within our graduate school. You can check on what assistantships are currently open on the careers page on the Point Park website. I don't think there are any open right now, which means like for next semester, but that changes all the time. There are a lot of variables that go into it. So I encourage people who are interested to just kind of check the careers page regularly and see what's available and see what you could possibly apply for. So yeah, those are just, like I said, some of the general positive points about grad school at Point Park that apply to all of our programs. I do want to touch on the admissions process really quickly, since that kind of is my area of expertise. Like I said, if you get an application in, you'll be working with me closely. I would be glad to kind of help you through the entire process. You can apply online It's pretty easy, and there's not a fee to do so. And once you apply, there are some documents that we would need from you to complete your application. And that is official transcripts from any school that you may have attended, a statement of purpose, a current resume, and 2 letters of recommendation. And we like at least one of those to be an academic reference. And you don't have to have all of those documents ready at the time you apply. Like you can apply and then submit some of the documents later. And we don't have admissions deadlines at Point Park. We do rolling admissions. So that means that you don't have to worry about, like a deadline you have to turn everything in by, which is nice. The School of Communications, most of the programs do start in the fall and in the spring. And I think that's everything I got about the admissions process. And this slide is just about some of the different financial aid options that we offer our graduate students. There is a link, if you see there at the bottom, Point Park /grad fine aid. If you go there, you can read about some of this stuff a bit more in depth. But there are scholarships and grants available. Something that people ask about the most is probably the graduate assistantships. And like I said, that's it changes every semester. But I do encourage you to look and apply for the ones that you're eligible for. A lot of people come in through some kind of employer reimbursement program as well. There are a whole lot of those that we will work with, and we're able to help you out with that. And we also do offer tuition discount programs and some different loan options as well. So like I said, I just wanted to mention this here, just kind of briefly without going into too much detail, but there are all kinds of different options. And if you're curious about any one of them, in particular, or you want some more details, feel free to reach out anytime. So I just wanted to go into a little bit more details about each program now. We offer, like I said, we offer a few different programs within the School of Communication. We have media communication, PR and advertising, communication technology, which also has a fully online option. And then we have our concurrent degree, which is the MA/MBA, which is basically like the media communications degree paired with a master's in business administration degree as well. Most of these programs are 36 credits long and are designed to take 4 semesters to complete, which is 2 years. The only exception to that is the dual program. Since it is kind of like a double program, it's longer. That one is 54 credits, and it is still designed to be take you 2 years to complete, but you'll take classes in the summertime as well. And across all of our programs, there's a big focus on hands-on experience and meaningful projects. I'll get into this a bit on the next slide, but within the School of Communication, there's a very broad range of electives that you can take, and there are different tracks and concentrations within each program. So you can kind of specialize your grad school experience to kind of match what your goals are, or like what you would want to do in life. And we do have, there's a really wide range of career outcomes that we can get from these programs. And we have a wide range of the types of students who come into these programs. We get a decent amount of students who are coming straight from undergrad, but we also get a large number of students who maybe have been working in the communications field for a while, and they want to, get an advanced degree to maybe get a promotion or pivot into a different area of work. Or sometimes we get people who would like to, professionally switch gears completely. There's really a wide range of things that we can help you do here. And that's the flexibility of these programs is something that I often hear is like a positive point for people that they like a lot. So yeah, that's just kind of like an overview of some of the things about the School of Communication in general. So some of the program requirements, or what some of the programs will actually look like. Like I said, each program kind of has its different tracks or concentrations that you can follow. And I feel like it would have been a bit much to kind of include all of that in this presentation, especially since everybody's here for different programs. But like I said, if there's something specific that you're wondering about, please just ask us. So I laid out here, we can see within each of these programs, you'll have core courses that you start with, which is usually 15 credits. And those are kind of like everybody who's in the program takes those core courses. You start with those. That's where everybody starts. And then after that, after those first 15 credits, that's when you can kind of delve into your concentration or your specialty, if you will, for kind of the remainder of the credits and your electives as well. So we can kind of see that, outlined here. Within the media communication program, we have a documentary concentration as well as a journalism concentration. And within that, you can pick different tracks. There's a professional track, a thesis track, or a journalism initiative track. And, within that track, there are the concentrations of education, criminal justice, environmental studies, and business. So you can see there, just within that one major, you have a lot of opportunities to kind of specialize what you're doing and maybe try some different things out. And then if we look at the PR and advertising program, it's a little bit more simplified. It's 15 credits of core courses, and then you have 15 credits of kind of the specialization, which is PR and advertising. The PR and advertising program used to be one of those concentrations within media communications, but we moved it to be its own program because it was very popular, and we feel that it offers students an opportunity to get that specialization and concentrate on those things a bit more. And then the communication technology, very similar in setup as well. You got the core courses, and then you have the concentrations, which are social media and applied practices. And then you've got your 6 credits of electives, and then you choose like the thesis or the professional track. And the dual degree, the MA/MBA, it's basically split right down the middle. It's 27 credits within the School of Communication and 27 credits within the School of Business. And yeah, I think I kind of sped through some of this stuff. But I think now might be a good opportunity, to hand it over to Dr. Halleck for a minute. If there's anything else that you'd like to add, Dr. Halleck, and if anybody has any questions that you'd like to ask either of us. Like I said, I know I've moved quickly, but we can open things up a bit now after Dr. Halleck speaks.
I would like to add that most of our courses, maybe you hit this and I didn't catch it. Most of our courses are offered in the evening, which makes it easy for you to work during the day and then do your higher education at night. Also, one of the electives, and most of the programs have electives, and one of those electives is that you can get to do an internship for credit. And we have a professional faculty who have connections to different journalism outlets, public relations outlets, nonprofits that are looking for somebody to help them with marketing programs. Point Park University has its own communications agency called Wood Street Communications, and a lot of students choose for one of their capstones is to do a publication project. And a lot of the students for their publication project will do a marketing program for one of our nonprofit partners. These are organizations that cannot afford their own PR people or afford to hire a PR company. So we are their PR company. And so we do marketing campaigns for them that you can do for credit for one of your capstone courses. The other 2 capstone courses, you choose 2 of the 3. The other 2 are directed readings in which you read 6 books that you and I would decide which books you would read. And then you write a paper on each book, and then one big paper tying it all together at the end. And then the other one is directed research. And in that one, students typically finish the research project that they began in the required media research methods course. Or you can do a thesis. The thesis track takes 2 semesters, and you do half your thesis each of those semesters. The students typically who choose the thesis track are those who think that someday they might go on to get a PhD. So with the thesis track, they're really learning to do and doing an in-depth research project, which would prepare them for a PhD program in the future. because we're downtown, we are in close proximity to many of the organizations and journalism companies and other organizations that we partner with for our publication projects or for our internships. The central location and the night classes, being right down here really makes you part of the downtown community. That's about all I have to add.
Awesome. Yeah. And those are really great things to add. I saw that we had I think we had something come in on our Q&A. So look at that. This is about a different program, about like the accepted site. I'm actually not totally sure how to answer this question right now. But whoever
Yeah,
asked
we
that,
don't use accepted for anything, but I believe the conservatory programs.
yeah, I think
So
that's
they submits through that,
yeah,
and
the
probably
school,
the
yeah, the
cinema and
school of
film
communication
program.
doesn't use accepted. But whoever I can't see who asked it. But if you'd like to shoot me an email, at the very least, I can kind of point you in the right direction of what you might be looking for. But yeah, if anybody else had any questions. Oh, here we got one. Are there typically MediaCom documentary classes offered during summer semesters?
No, most of our classes, in fact, I think, let's say 95% of our classes are not offered in the summer. However, when you're ready to do your documentary project or your capstone projects, most of our faculty members are willing to oversee those courses in the summer. So you can at least do your final projects during the summer. And you can, if you do an internship, you can do those during the summer also. And some professors are willing to do independent studies. Maybe there's just one course you need to get taken care of to complete your program. And our faculty is usually pretty good with working with students to do independent studies, and some of those can be done during the summer.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. All right. Well, I'm going to go on ahead to the next slide, but the Q&A thing will remain open if anybody has any questions going forward. I do want to touch on the COVID-19 plans that the university has for the spring semester so far. I know this is a factor in everybody's life, every aspect of life. So the university, we do have some good, social distancing and mask policies and all of that stuff on campus. If you want to keep up to date with what's going on campus as far as COVID-19 goes, there is like a special tab on the Point Park website where you can just click COVID-19 and it kind of gives you the most current updates or changes that might be being made. We are updating the academic calendar a little bit for the spring semester to accommodate for this. So classes are going to start now on January 16th and they will end on April 30th. There will be no spring break in between. And like I already said, there's social distancing and face coverings are required on campus. And we are using, it's called a high flex model for our classes in the spring. Basically, all students will have a choice to attend in-person classes or not. If you choose not to, you can still attend the class remotely via a live stream. So if you're not comfortable with coming on campus, you can just choose that option and that will be okay. So things, as it's been going with this, things are changing all the time with it. So I do encourage you to kind of keep up to date by checking that the COVID section on our website. And you can see kind of what's what right now with it. All right. And, as we already mentioned a couple times, we do have flexible class schedules with people who are working full-time in mind. So a vast majority of our graduate classes are in the evening. So if you work during the day, you can manage this as well. And we do have some, like I mentioned, the communication technology program is offered fully online as well for people who may be interested in that. Wait a minute. So that's basically all of the basic information that I wanted to share with you. I know maybe it feels like I sped through it a little bit, and it was a bit generalized. But like I said, if you ever have any questions, my contact information and Dr. Halleck's contact information is right here. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime. You know, if you reach out over email, maybe we can set up a Zoom call or something else if you'd like to talk more. And yeah, does anybody have?
One other thing I'll mention, Tom, I know at least one person in the chat was potentially interested in the MA MBA program, and we do have Dr. Maharaj's name there. We actually have a separate session planned tomorrow for the MA MBA that we do anticipate Dr. Maharaja will be at. So if anybody on this session is especially interested in that program and wants a little more information on the MBA portion of it, you know, just you can email us and we can send you the link, or go onto the website, No RSVP for that if you haven't done so, and we can send you the link so you can join in that session as well. I just wanted to mention that.
Oh yeah, sure. Thanks, Len. Appreciate that. So yeah, I think, like I said, I think that's basically everything that I wanted to cover. If nobody else has any further questions, like I said, reach out to our office anytime. If you have any questions or inquiries, we'd be glad to help. And thank you very much for your interest in Point Park University.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.